When I was a kid, real little kid, about 7 years of age, I used to wake up every morning and shout out, "Today is the day of the rapture," so that God would hear me, and maybe He would postpone the rapture, and I could live on and go to school and be with my friends. And for that day, for that one day, God would hear me, and everything would be okay. I grew up in a religious group called the Terminal Generation, a group of young adults who believed they were the last people to inhabit the earth before the book of Revelation. It was created by a girl named Helen Keller. She was born with obsessive compulsive disorder, and by the age of 7, 3 days after her birthday, she began slowly counting down from the number 102,472. Due to her rare birthmark, shaped as a clock, her parents convinced themselves that this was a sign from the powers that be, that their daughter was the living clock that counted down the end of the world. At the age of 8, she became an international celebrity. She was on the Oprah show, had 4 books written in her name, was on 217 different religious cable networks across 16 different religions in 12 different countries. She was the #1 most spoken celebrity name on television in Brazil in 1996, #3 in Mexico, #7 in the United Kingdom, #13 in Canada, #4 in Benin, and #2 in the United States. Her counting would be every Sunday, early 6 a.m. in the morning, all the way to 9 p.m. at night. Her eyes showed clear exhaustion, but due to her lack of diagnosis, she couldn't stop. Her counting was unpredictable and had no real consistent pace. She would listen to the radio, watch TV, and color to pass the time, but she was always counting. If she stopped, she said, everything would be wrong. Her parents started the group, the Terminal Generation, to cover up their FDA scandal, where their Helen Keller branded holy water was found to have trace elements of great value bleach and caused partial one-eye blindness in a celebrity televangelist. The group would sleep together, break bread together, spend the days together, and would celebrate every milestone to the end of the world. My mother gave birth to me in the height of their popularity, and was shamed by the group for having a child so close to the rapture. Many worried that my birth would postpone the rapture, and many took into consideration my mother's seemingly countercultural spiritual beliefs, which fueled disdain even more for my mother and newborn me. Baby tardy, they would call me. Baby come too late, they would tease. In fact, all children younger than Helen were treated with disdain and were subject to an extra hour of supervision and kneeled prayer, where they were told to thank God to let the end times come right on schedule. It was my second birthday, and Helen was down to her last 50.
38,
Thousands watching all across the globe, hand in hand in the floor of the church, while Helen counted on her holy throne. Hundreds of hate sites from atheists were built to mock Helen and her event, including sites like HelenTheHumanIdiot.org and HelenTheHeretic.com. She counted down from 10. Nothing happened. A group of disappointed and bawling churchgoers finally left the floor an hour after the count ended, as a confused Helen stared into the distance. Some blamed her parents, but mostly they blamed my mother. And so we ran. Helen, blinded by the pressure of the entire world, started counting into the negatives, which nobody really knew how to take. The group operated still.
It's the day of the rapture.
CPS took Helen Care away and put her in the witness protection program under a new name and identity. The public never saw her again, and rumors of her death persist. The Terminal Generation turned into Colonels of Christ LLC, an independent television group that would find the number 666 in soda cans and call Beyonce the Antichrist. Not saying a peep about who I was, I found refuge in a family of 4. I found hope there, real hope, the type they don't sell on television. I found a whole family. Never until then did I experience true and pure, unpersecuted love. But sometimes at night, with no one else around, in the back of my mind, I hear the counting still.